For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, yeah. For the.
All right, what is going on, guys? It's a beautiful Sunday here. This is usually the day here lately that I've been able to make a video, get to work on the car, and so just want to go over today what we're doing to the car. Should be a pretty satisfying day today, because what I'm going to be doing is removing that rear radiator. And a couple things that we've got to do is the here's my buddy Cashy. We done got his starter charging put together for his junior dragster. We got his dirt bike charging, and been cleaning up a little bit. It's still an absolute wreck in here, but little update: cold side is on. It's all charged. Okay, so cold side piping, got it together. I was grinding, fitting my blow-off valve flange when I realized that I ordered a steel flange instead of aluminum, so that will not work. So one thing too, one little big like update or piece is this unit right here. Can any of you guess what that is? That is an injector, an add-on injector port. So what this is going to do, what I'm going to do for intake air temps is we're going to try spraying an additional injector through this, and that should cool our intake charges. Should be good for, you know, 1,000 to 1,100 is from what I've been told, in the horsepower range, and keeping us, you know, the motor happy and whatnot. So this deal is just going to sit like this right here. I'm going to put a what is it? It's a quarter by 4AN 90, and then I'm going to shoot it. I'm going to buy an adapter, 8AN and to 8AN with a little quarter drop off. Put me a little fuel line coming down to this, and then we're going to wire in that additional injector to pulse. So I've got a bunch of little fittings that I've got to do, but this was from Billet Speed, I think. It's a very nice unit. I mean, and it came with, this is the one that's set up for like the LS3, the small injectors, the 48 millimeter, and it comes with new sleeves and longer bolts to come up to the 60. They also have some for billet atomizers. This is not a plug for them, just if anybody ever wants to find these, that's what you can, it's where you can go and find something as neat as that right there. I think that's pretty cool. You don't have to have a screw-in injector. You can just have a regular injector in there and it should work. So it's pretty cool. I think it's neat. I think it's going to work out pretty good. It sits nice and flush. It's actually made for a 3-inch pipe. So, I mean, you can see the fitment there is pretty much on point. It's going to be a little better than like the 50 millimeter blow-off valves, which are made for 2.5. So the plan is to take my snips over here and go to town under the car and get this thing loose. So throw you on a time lapse and we'll see you in a minute. All right, so something really funny just happened. I just got the rear radiator out of the car, and I've had Bill Hoskinson on here. I've had Taylor Ray. I've had 1320's been on, John Doc's been on. It's just, you know, I let it play, and then every once in a while after they play a couple of the same, I'll change to the next guy. So we're on Mac TV, and I hadn't watched this one yet. It just came out on 24th, and they're doing Mountain Dew's engine for drag week, and saw that what they do, and they went fast this whole time during drag week, and I those guys are awesome. They do well. And what they do with this thing right here, they actually have these exact things, which is funny because I haven't seen this exact thing on a car till just now. But what they do is they do it like this, and they point it down, and then it blows against the boost, the air flow that comes in, and then it atomizes better. And with as short of a pipe as we have here, I think that's probably going to be a good idea. Because one thing he said, and I thought about this, but I'm not extremely knowledgeable on this stuff. You do it this way, it's just going to be spraying directly. It's not going to atomize that much. And they're doing that with M1 to reduce their intake temps. So just thought that was funny little thing. Guess we might change this up and put this way, or put this up here like this. Something like that. So that should work. Now on to something else. Let me show y'all just the mess that I've got back here. Don't pay attention to all the other mess. Look at all this. This is all the junk from, and you know, all that wiring, or not wiring, but piping. And now we're all clear under here, except for some wires that I've got to pull up and out and reroute and all that stuff. So now we've got to get this thing. So all that wiring, all that tubing, we're going to replace with this little unit here. And actually I have it upside down. I was like, huh, why is there a bleeding thing on this side? So this unit, we got to figure out where we want this one to sit exactly. Obviously there's going to be a little tough with this thing being in the way. Could sit it over here to the side, which we can also lift it up like this. Let me just sit it like, I think we should just put it like this, and that way we know we're getting all the air to it. But no, anyways, we're going to put it to where we can get some airflow through the grill, and or the max amount of air through the grill that we can. Something like that, probably. Something like that, as I just show you. So yeah, used to be a turbo there. So sad. So sad. So we got some welding to do on this. And this guy, let's see this hat. He got a hat for his birthday from his aunt and uncle. It says Junior Dragster Life. Nice little dad hat.
Guess what I also got? My starter's already charging.
Yep, your starter's charging.
And my Junior Dragster about ready to go.
About ready. It's getting there. So all that rear radiator stuff is out. We did make a little bit of a mess. There was still some coolant in there, some water coolant. No, you're not. You used to be able to sit right there, didn't you? Before the engine was in there, it was your jungle gym. Yeah. So I got some stuff to order. I got some fittings up here to order. Some fittings for the fuel to order, and then I've got to go through, do this side of the engine. We've got to put the blow-off valves. We do have to put the blow-off valve on, waste gates, and I've got to do the valves on this side, seal the headers, and then what else we got? Seal the headers. So I think I did both headers. Have I welded both headers? No, see, I haven't welded both headers. I got to weld this header, and then we can reseal the headers and then start plumbing some other things up. So I think that's pretty cool. Little setup that we got going. What do you think? Does that work? Do you think it's gonna work?
Yes.
How fast we gonna go?
60,000 miles.
60,000 miles?
Yes.
That's crazy. That'll be fast. So we're gonna clean some of this stuff up, and then we'll be charging, snorting, tearing, ready to go. We do have some, I'm probably going to weld a couple of other things in the piping here for the wastegates, for the boost lines, and for the blow off. Well, the blow off valve will come off the back of the intake, but so we're getting there. We're getting close. I am glad to have all that mess out there. I am glad to be going back. So, but let's address that. One thing I'm going to get asked a lot is why did you go back with a front radiator? Well, whenever I initially did it, I looked at the cost and I was like, yeah, I've seen people run the front pump with the rear radiator and they made it work. And, you put the swirl tank in, you do all this stuff and they made it work. Well, it just doesn't work good on this setup. Or did not have it plumbed right, whatever the case may be. It did good in some instances, but it seemed like it would lose the prime to the pump, and it would be just difficult to get it to circulate the way that it needed to. This thing was already, these small block Ford is pretty simple. It's already a, radiators up front, all that stuff. So go back to a simple setup and be done with it. This car isn't a drag week car. I'm not taking it on 100-mile cruises. This little radiator should be more than enough to do what we need to, and that's what I'm going to do, is just run it that way and be done with all that the tubing, whatever the stuff's called, hoses, all that stuff, that mess in the back. I'm going to get it to where we can put weight back there. I don't have to worry about the radiator being back there. It just wasn't worth it for me personally. It seemed like ever since I did that back there, I liked it in a way just because I had more room up here, but it was a mess. And I like the idea of going back to this. So we got a lot more to do. I'm gonna try to get some work done to it. I've got to get some more lines here, some more fittings for the oiling, and then we got to run the drains. That's going to be interesting because this is not tapped for a twin turbo setup, so I got to figure out what I'm going to do with that. Exactly. I thought about just teeing it back in. We have a -12 line here. That is the the line that I had already there. So if I could do some type of tee with the two 10ANs, with the 10AN to 12AN tee, it should drain enough. But I want to make sure 100% that it's going to. So we'll see. I've got to figure that one out. Another one of those things that I'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I've got a lot to get done here. So, all right. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, let me know. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. It is coming along. I mean, you can see we're finally got the cold side. I don't like having the couplings here very well, but just because of the little bit of crazy, I'm sure I could cut these and make them. This is going to make things a lot quicker. Maybe this winter I'll redo the cold side and we'll figure something else out. But for now, I like it. It's simple. These 2.5 inch are not near as prone to blowing off as like the 4-inch stuff. So it should be fine, I think. And I think it looks fine. Plus, we're going to have the hood on it and be done with it. So, yep. Looks like that's going to be it for this video. I'm going to start working on some other things off camera and getting things situated. But enough talking head, enough rambling. Thanks about that time. What do you think?
Good.
You tell them bye for me? Peace. All right. We'll see y'all in the next one.
For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, yeah. For the